Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have a pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want today's full show before it comes out on YouTube, be sure to check out the DREAMERSPRO podcast. It's streaming for free on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We have that in the comment section below if you want today's full show. Anyway. Let me get into this topic here. Now, as you guys know, about 2 months ago, Deion Sanders basically took the world, at least the sports world, by storm. Literally everywhere you went, all we could hear about was Deion Sanders. He was turning, people that were never following college football into believers. People like myself, I don't watch college athletics. He had me, people like my wife and us tuning in to watch the Colorado football team play games on Saturdays, and there was a lot of excitement. And Deion Sanders at the time was a magnet. He was a media magnet. Everywhere he went, there were media publications about him. He was on shows like ESPN First Take, Undisputed, literally every single week. He was the hottest thing in town. But over time, things started to simmer down as the Colorado football team started losing games. And as we currently speak, they have a 4-4 record. And with losing, people begin to lose interest. It's just the way that it is. And since then, it's been, ever since he started losing, it's been one thing after the other. People started questioning his coaching style, basically saying that he would always blame his offensive line for every single issue that they had. He was always critical of his players, but he never seemed to place any blame on his son, Deion Sanders, and people were criticizing that. But then something recently happened. And this is the one that really sparked the controversy, where we're now seeing a lot of his supporters begin to turn on him. What am I talking about? Recently, there was an incident that took place where the Colorado football team was playing against UCLA, and apparently the players had their jewelry stolen in the locker room, right? And this news came out. And Deion Sanders, I guess they made this information public. And then something interesting happened. What happened was a number of months ago, while Deion Sanders was coaching at Jackson State, another incident had taken place where some items were stolen from the locker room. And what happened was, when that incident took place, Deion Sanders went to the public and publicly, cried out for attention and for people to to put attention on the situation. And he basically called out the people that stole his items or whatever it was. But in this particular case, he didn't seem to keep that same energy. So what we want to do is play his initial comments back when he had his items stolen. They were, I think at the time, the items that were, some of the belongings that were stolen was like a boombox or something like that. So what we want to do is play Deion Sanders going off about this while he was at Jackson State, and then we're going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Deion Sanders here.
Right now, because I had mixed emotions. We won, kids played really well. While the game was going on, somebody came in and stole every darn thing I had in my locker room, in the coach's office.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Credit cards, wallet, watches. Thank God I had on my necklaces. How? So when I talk about quality, raising the standards, that goes for everyone, man. Not just the people on the field, not just the coaches, not just the teachers, not just the faculty, but that's everybody, security in everybody. So how do you think it feels coming back after just teary-eyed because the guys have presented me with the game ball, one of the best moments I've ever had in my professional sports career emotionally. And then you go into your locker room, your coach's office to digress, and you notice and you don't even have a phone to call your mama, to call your girl, to call your kids, because it's been stolen. You don't even have the Scully hats that you wore here. We're gonna find out who did it. Let's flush that. Jackson State, Deion Love. Wonderful game. Defense played the butts off. Defense was extraordinary. God bless the whole defensive staff. The special teams were incredible. Offense played well, didn't play great, but they played well. Stifled a few drives, self-inflicted wounds. We got to clean that up. The offensive line did a great job.
So you heard Deion Sanders. Now, if you even saw the video, you would see that he was visibly upset, and he was raising his voice, and he was very, very angry about the situation. But then when this situation happened, with UCLA, he apparently did not keep the same energy, and it looks like now some of his supporters and even HBCUs are beginning to call him out on it. I want to read from an article called from rollingout.com, and it says, HBCU fans call out Deion Sanders' response to theft of his players' jewelry. The article then continues on. Fans of HBCUs have once again challenged the decision-making of Deion Sanders. The Colorado football coach has been criticized for his response or lack thereof to his players having their jewelry stolen during an away game at UCLA on October 28th. You go play football. You know your bleep is safe, dog. Colorado safety Cameron Simlong Craig said in a video Deion Sanders Jr. posted. That junk is messed up, bruh. The article then continues on. The only gesture resembling a public comment on the robbery from Coach Prime was retweeting of Sanders Jr.'s and Buffalo's edge rusher Jordan JD's Dominic. Forgive and forget Dominic posted on X, formerly known as Twitter. To whoever snuck into the locker room and stole my chain, as well as my teammate's chain, I forgive you and wish you nothing but the best. Hopefully you turn your life around with whatever you get for mine, and you learn from this. It's all love. During his early months at Jackson State, Sanders made a video about someone in Jackson stealing his boombox and spent the opening statement of his first post-game press conference going off on someone stealing his belongings during that game. Later, JSU Athletics claimed his items weren't stolen during the game, but misplaced and were returned to him. His boombox was also returned to him. After leaving Jackson, Sanders mentioned the lack of crime in Colorado, hinting at Jackson's Mississippi having a crime problem. Sanders' daughter, Deandra, was also called out for claiming the city had a crime problem. Step to the front, please, because you had so much to say about crime on Jackson State's campus. I need the same energy for this PWI. I need you to slander them the way you did JSU. Raise awareness like you did towards the black school. The article then continues on. On October 31st, Sanders responded. One of the critics calling how his different response to the theft at JCU versus the Rose Bowl, about which he was initially silent. My brother Sanders posted on X, "Move on with your life. I have, and I am too blessed to be stressed with yesterday's inconsistencies. Y'all talking about two different circumstances. God bless you, because he's sure blessing me." Later in the day, Sanders opened the press conference further addressing the situation. Our kids got robbed during the game last week. That's a travesty, Sanders said, according to Jackson. I would expect the NCAA to do something about it. These are college kids. I'm pretty sure they don't know. They don't think about insurance at this point in life. I know the kids will be forthright in what was stolen, and all that stuff should be replaced. This is the Rose Bowl. This is the granddaddy of them all. Well, granddaddy has some money, and I did hear that the home team was robbed as well, and that don't make no sense. Do something about it, NCAA. You do something about everything else. Do something about this one. So that's the article there. It's a pretty long one. So what are my thoughts on this? Well, some folks are upset with Deion Sanders for not keeping that same energy. And by the way, I've been kind of going through the internet, and I've been seeing various people, especially black voices, that are now going at him for various things. I think, as they say, the honeymoon phase is over. This particular issue, though, however, I think some of his supporters do have a point, right? If you're gonna keep that same, if you're gonna have this energy for Jackson State, then have it across the board. As you saw, Deion Sanders try to dismiss it. And people are still upset about it. Overall, this is what I think. Number one, I think these people have a point. Number two, this is what happens when you start losing. You see, winning covers up all of these different things. If it was about winning, we would still be here talking about the winning. You know, he would be on every single television every single day. He'll be on ESPN, Fox Sports, and it would be so much about that it would drown out all of the negative press and all of the negative noise. But given the fact losing is taking place, then these things are now allowed to fester and gain some headway. And now people are going to be talking about it. Do I think that the criticism that people are putting forward towards Deion Sanders is going to affect him in any way? No, I don't think so, because if it did, I think the initial backlash that he got from leaving Jackson State would have bothered him, but I don't think it will. Ultimately, a lot of the people that were upset at him, some of them ended up supporting him when they saw him doing well at a different program. I think if he continues to win, ultimately people will forget about this, because people do have a short memory and people tend to forgive. But for this particular situation, I do believe that his supporters and the people calling him out are making a very good point. So what I want to know from you guys is this: what do you think about Deion Sanders supporters calling him out for not keeping the same energy in this situation here? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts in the comment section, and we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.